Joining us in studio is, well, he needs no introduction. It's Michael Pinball Clemons, the vice chair of the Toronto Argonauts. How are you?
Great, Bobcat. How you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent, excellent.
So we have a new thing,
Yes, we do have a new thing.
the Thanks a Million campaign.
Yes.
You want to tell us about it?
So it's called the All-Star Program, and you've been instrumental. You've been the all-star in helping us to achieve our goal in building schools in developing countries, and we're still engaged in that. And we said that we're going to try to do 131. We exceeded that in 4 years, and so we say, well, we're going to try to double it in the 5 years. So we said 131 in 5 years. We exceeded it in 4 years, and so we say, why don't we try to double it? Well, we're officially at, this is 5 years and maybe a month or two, because it launched in the fall, and we're at 240.
Oof, close.
So 22 away from 262, from doubling it. And not only that, because we have had that great success there, we're now looking at trying to come back home and do some things in our own local community. Well, we've already been doing that, but ramping up our efforts in our own local community. So I have two lovely young ladies to maybe talk a little bit about what we're doing here.
Do you want to introduce one of them to you?
I would love to. First, I'm going to introduce Alex. So Alex will go first and maybe just tell you a little bit about her story.
Yeah, my name's Alex. I'm 22 years old. When I was younger, I grew up in an abusive household. I was living with my dad and my brother in a one-bedroom apartment, and my dad was an alcoholic. After everything, I guess, just became to be too much to handle, I took my brother and I, and we went to my grandmother's house from there. And the Children's Aid Society got involved at that point, and they placed us both in a group home. At that time, my only means of escape was to use drugs. It was the only time that I felt I could escape all of the negativity going on in my life. And after about a year in the group home was when I moved in with my mother. And my mother she had clinical depression, which nobody had really known a lot about. And so she wasn't mentally able to take care of my brother and I. And she started to withdraw from everything around her. She ended up losing her job, and we got evicted from our house. We moved into a different house, and everything just got a lot worse. She had no job. We didn't really have anything to eat. And all of this had caused me to go into a depression. And I wasn't able to go to school. I didn't have any friends. I did have a boyfriend. And when my mother kicked me out, he was who I moved in with. And he was abusive towards me emotionally and physically. I decided to tell my doctor how I'd been feeling and what I'd been going through. And she referred me to a hospital that dealt with mental illness in adolescents. So I went there. I got medication and counseling and work to keep me busy. An explosive fight took place between my boyfriend and I, and it ended with him in handcuffs. And that was when my social worker from the Children's Aid Society moved me into a safe home, and she told me about this program. It was called the Ambassador Program, and she said that it was for youth just like me. She said that all of the youth who gone there were high school dropouts, had dealt with different types of things like mental illness or had problems with criminal activity. And so I had my first interview with Jeffrey Newland, the coordinator of the Ambassador Program, and I was allowed in. I was 18 at this point. And when I entered the Ambassador Program, I, for lack of a better phrase, was a scared little girl. I didn't know anything. I didn't think that I'd be capable of doing the work. And with the continued support of Jeffrey Newland and the teacher that they had, I was able to complete my work. I did better than I'd ever done. I was getting 80s and 90s in my courses. And the amazing thing about the program is it's tailored to where you are academically. So everybody in the program is taking different courses and doing it at their own pace, so you don't feel like you're getting stuck or you're being left behind. And the Ambassador Program helped me also to develop confidence in myself. There were certain things that we had to do. We have to do these things called speak outs. And basically what that is we would go to high-risk areas in Toronto, speak to grade 7s and 8s about our pasts, why we dropped out of school, what happened while we were dropped out of school, and what caused us to go back to school. And doing things like that, I was in the ambassador program for 3 years. I got most of my credits, and from there, I decided that I was ready for university. I had been in high school for too long, at least just for myself. And so I got into the University of Toronto with the help of Jeffrey Newland. And I'm doing a bridging program there currently. And yeah, I'm...
So you're currently at the U of T now, right?
Yes, that is what I'm doing right now.
Yes, and it's exam period as well, isn't it? So pretty intense time.
Very intense. I just had one today.
All right, that's amazing. What a story, so amazing. And the Ambassador School is one of the programs that we work with. And Bob doesn't know this, but he's helped me more than he knows with this program as well already. And I'm going to continue to put weight on him, and because he can handle it. And just so proud of you and what you've done. And she probably scaled the story down and intensity a little bit for the radio today, but just want to get an idea of, these young people don't ask for these situations, and they deserve it as much as my little Rachel, Raven, and Riley does. I mean, I don't see Alex as any different from either of them. And so I know the love and support that they have around them, and to see what you've accomplished in this situation. And we're so excited to see what's to come, because the best is yet to come.
We're getting a little tight on time, and I want to let
Yes.
Sally Ann talk.
All right. Yes. So Sally Ann is part of our program with George Brown, where we give scholarships to kids who are doing well academically but struggling financially. And so this is a different program, and just wanted to give you an idea, a sampling of some of the things we do. So Sally Ann, just maybe want to talk about the importance of the scholarship and what it meant.
Exactly. So when I decided to come back to school, I know I had worked a little bit and I had some money. But at the same time, I have 2 kids, 2 little boys. So I came back to school, and the course is so intense. So I didn't really have the opportunity to be working aside. So I was like really running out of money. And so coming into the second year, I didn't have anything. And I even decided to take probably a year or 2 off so I can work and come back and pay for my tuition.
Right.
But then something was like, just go. So I went, I applied for OSAP. I didn't get it. And so I applied for the Pinball Scholarship, which was like $3,100. And I got it. So because of this scholarship, I'm actually able to stay in school, and I'm maintaining my GPA. I don't have to work as much as I used to. And this is a great thing, because I'm able to spend time with my kids as well as do well in school.
Fantastic.
So I am thankful for that.
Fantastic. All right. How do we make this work?
So we make this work similar to the other situation where you donate what you can, right? That's the idea. But we have this idea of actually becoming an all-star. So an all-star is someone who says, okay, we're used to you now. We know that the kind of things that you're doing. So we're still building schools. So the idea of an all-star is that you give $1,000 a year. I mean, people get requests from everywhere, and some people who are into philanthropy are able to do $1,000 and say, okay, I can do this, and then I can give something else somewhere else. So you do $1,000, and you do it each year for 3 years is the commitment. But if for some reason your financial situation changes, there's no contract, no nothing like that. So if you can give, you give. If you can't, you can't. If you're someone who can give $50, you can go online and register, and you can build a team to become an all-star, right? But as an all-star, you can also build a larger team. So as an all-star, you can say, okay, I want to be an all-star at $1,000, but I don't want to just be an all-star. I want to be an all-star quarterback. So you can build a team that's $10,000. Then it goes up to head coaches, $25,000. And then it goes to the general manager, which is $25,000 or $50,000. And then it goes to you, the one who's going to become our first commissioner at $100,000 through the help.
So I got to raise $100,000.
We.
We can do that.
Yeah.
How many schools
So-
did you build last time, Bob? It was a good number, I think.
Oh my goodness.
I
It
think over
was-
the 2 years it was 70 something.
Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I
Maybe
think it was
more.
80,
Might have
80,
been more than
80
that.
I think it was 80 some.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
So we did okay. All right. What do we do?
So you can go to the website. It'll explain it all. The fans website, I think it's still getting up to speed. MPCF, the Mike Pinball Clemons Foundation, MPCF.ca is ready already. You can go to that anytime. So the idea is really, Jane Fonda had an interesting quote. I was, always looking through these kinds of things, and she says, when I came to Canada, I said that this is what life should be like, and I thought that was the coolest quote. And that's really, I think, what it's done for you and I. I think
Yeah.
both very comfortable here and understand the generosity of Canadians. And so we just ask you to give what you can. And there are those who are still going to be interested in our school project. There's a gentleman today who said he wants to build a school, and that's great. A minimum of 60% of these funds will stay in the local community, unless you say, I want it to go
Want it to
towards
go
a
to
school.
someplace specific.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
So all the information is at mpcf.ca
And eventually we'll be on the fans website.
and eventually on the fans website. Yes,
Yes, yes.
indeed.
Okay.
And you'll come back in a couple of weeks and
Yes.
we'll talk about where we're at and what we've accomplished.
Yes, sir.
So we ask you to go and do what you can. Do not ask you to do anything more than what you feel comfortable with. mpcf.ca. Thank you to Sally Ann. Thank you to Alex. And you, I'll see you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Michael Pinball Clemons.